have a government, sir, that needs to be opened up before the American people. I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother. I think I'm hearing revolution in the air. Tell me, brother. It is time for us to use our house. Please do not beg folks for power. Nobody is going to give it to you. You were born. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and good Saturday morning. Yours truly, Prince Carter. Wanted to hop on here this morning for update as relates to where we are. Today is January 27th, 2004. You know what that means? You really want to know what that means? It means it's been 1,058 days since emergency American Rescue Plan funds have been held hostage from poor black folks and poor black businesses in North St. Louis City. Let me reiterate that. Today is January 27, 2004, approximately 1,058 days that emergency funds have been withheld or held hostage from poor black folks and poor black businesses in North St. Louis City that was allocated by the federal government, and those funds are still being held hostage. The games that have been perpetrated and played on us as a people, ladies and gentlemen, is beyond my comprehension. Let's start here. COVID-19 struck our country, struck the world, and shut us all down. We were in a crisis mode, which meant the federal government, who is so quick to bail out foreign countries in crisis situations, knew that it had to bail out its own kind, and it attempted to do that. In March of 2001, during the President's State of the Union address, the President instructed the country, as well as our local government, that we had to rebuild our country and we had to start from the bottom up post-COVID. We were to take emergency funds and begin the process of rebuilding from the bottom up. These are instructions from the President of the United States, and you can pull it up on YouTube, March of 2001. Those funds were misappropriated somehow or another during the crisis situation. Many people were panicking. You know, it was going out and buying all that toilet paper and stuff, and folks were not working, and they panicked. And some folks frauded the system and collected revenues in the form of PPP. It was known now as the PPP scandal. Folks without businesses went and got those funds, which meant that people like myself and others who actually had businesses didn't get anything. And not wanting to repeat that, the federal government instructed our local government to identify the people that are actually in the community that operate in businesses, as well as the homeowners in the community, and get these emergency funds to them. The instructions were that the money that they sent was not enough, and they were aware of it. They then attached a contingency clause to those funds and said, take this, get the ball rolling, find out how much more you need, and send back for it. That was coming up on 4 years ago. Here in the city of St. Louis, our elected officials got those funds in the interest of poor black folks in North St. Louis City. They decided, for whatever reason, not to give the money to the poor black folks. They decided to sit on the money and draw interest. We were in a crisis situation. Remember, folks, I'm telling you this. I'm not making this up. If you don't believe me, do your own homework. They were supposed to get that money expeditiously to poor folks. They chose to sit on it and play all kind of games, had me running around, jumping through hoops, had us filling out these applications 3 times on my behalf. There's other folks that just gave up and were discouraged. And they peeped the game early. They said they ain't gonna do right. I'm telling you, but people, I'm starting to tell them, man, fill this out. We gonna get this money. It's from the government. They said they ain't gonna do it. These people were talking the truth. They knew, because of the historical corrupt political structure that we have here in North St. Louis City, that we were going to be bamboozled again. Lo and behold, we've been bamboozled. What are we going to do? Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. Starting off this Monday, if you know of any business owner, we're focusing on business owners and residents of North St. Louis City that were out of work and were suffering during post-COVID and still are struggling today. We need to document these, because what we're in the process of doing, because there's more monies on the way, folks. That's the reason they got to hurry up and spend that first round before the next round is sent out. But what I'm saying is, as a people, as a community, we cannot trust our local government. They have shown that they're not worthy of our trust. And we're going to create allies directly with the EDA and the Treasury Department, as well as our U.S. senators, to align opportunities that we as a people, we as a community, can seek these funds directly ourselves. The federal government have things in place, and we can actually seek these funds without our local elected officials, because they have proven themselves not to be worthy of that. For people to sit on funds, ladies and gentlemen, during a crisis, that's really shameful. It really is. And there's, in my opinion, no justification when you take a people that's already been suffering, that's suffered for decades, and you get a crisis situation and you send federal aid, and you sit on that aid to draw interest. That is not working in my interest. That's working in your interest. And if anyone can show me or explain to me where I'm wrong on that, I encourage you to please correct me. I tell folk all the time, I love to be corrected. If I say anything that's inaccurate, if I give out any misinformation or false information, I want to be corrected. And unless you can give me a point of reference, I don't think you can correct me on this one. It's dead wrong. They talked about how folks were riding around with temporary places and stuff. People were out of work. They was behind on bills, didn't have money. There was money sent to help with the bills, the fixing your house, your car. All that was part of this contingency clause that the federal government was attempting to rescue us. But our elected officials decided to allow us to continue to suffer. Their position is they've been suffering all this time, let them suffer some more. And that's dead wrong, folks. So we're going to organize on this Monday with the business owners and any homeowners that we can find that were left out of these funds. It's been brought to my attention that some folks in the buddy system have gotten some things that they weren't supposed to get. And we'll talk about that at a later date. I don't think it's fair for us or even right to sit back and accept this. I think that when we're silent, we're in acceptance, and we can't be silent. We have, as a people, as a community, been redlined, disenfranchised for so long that we become immune to it almost. And many of us do not comprehend or understand the magnitude of what's happening here. We're supposed to be in a rescue mode. And we're supposed to still be in that mode right now. We're supposed to be rebuilding, reigniting, and just redeveloping our communities and building things up that we can be proud of and we can have for years to come. These resources that have been held hostage by our local government for 1,058 days. That's unacceptable, people. And if anyone disagrees, I'd like to know why. So with that being said, I'm going to ask you all to continue to pay attention to what's going on. I'm building a YouTube channel, King Prince Carter STL, and you're going to be able to go there and get daily updates as it relates to what our plans of action are and how we're going to proceed forward. I did get a call back finally from the Congresswoman's office. I have expressed for a couple of months now trying to reach the Congresswoman. So finally, they called back and they wanted something about my Social Security number. They just hung up on getting my Social Security number. I don't know if they. I'm like Barack Obama. You know, they said he didn't have a birth certificate. I guess they're trying to insinuate I don't have a Social Security number, but I do. But nonetheless, a meeting has been set up with myself and the Congresswoman for February 12th. I did, in fact, convey that in the event that her schedule changes or whatever, I am open to a Zoom meeting. I want to talk firsthand with our Congresswoman, who, in my opinion, has a grave deal of responsibility in seeing that emergency federal funding is allocated to her constituents in a timely fashion. And it's to my understanding, they are unknowledgeable of these funds not being distributed to the constituents in this geographical area. So with that being said, I'm going to make sure that the Congresswoman and any other elected official that governs my area is aware that me and others, myself and others, are very displeased with these funds being held hostage for 1,058 days. Emergency money held hostage for over 1,058 days. And I'm going to continue to count the days. And I'm going to ask that there is some accountability as it relates to the interest. It needs to go into the pot, not somebody's pocket. And that's one of my concerns. This thing has been turned into a pyramid scheme, folks. And when I speak of this thing, I'm talking in terms of the American Rescue Plan funds, the ARPA funds designated for disenfranchised and poor Black people in North St. Louis. We were sent over $512 million, according to our research, and this is a preliminary investigation. There has been $1.2 billion allocated to our community and our people that we haven't seen. And we as a community, as a people, we need to be about the business of not asking, but demanding our fair share of those funds that were sent here in our interest. So I'm going to hopefully have a big announcement on Tuesday, but the meeting is Monday for the business owners and the residents of North St. Louis who were left out, who didn't get anything. Those are the people that we need to document, and we need to make sure we put it in black and white. And that's what we're in the process of doing so that we can state our case to the United States Senate as well as the Congress. And we're going to ask folks that want to be a part of the meeting on Monday to be mindful. Monday at 4 o'clock, we're going to paste on my wall here the Zoom connection. We're doing things in a mindful way and a strategic way because of the historic significance of the things that have transpired in our community in the past and the attempt to prohibit folks from organizing. And we have things that we're putting in place to assure that we're not distracted, derailed, or even disrupted. So with that being said, Monday at 4 o'clock, you'll be able to come to this wall right here where I'm at on Facebook, and you'll see a link. That link is going to give you, now, mindful folks, there's only room for about 100 people on this Zoom meeting. So it's going to be first come, first serve. You will have the opportunity, those of you that are not allowed inside the meeting with the business owners, to express your concerns and share your experiences as it relates to how these funds were held hostage and the politics that was played on the people with seeking these funds, and having folks run around filling out applications and jumping through hoops and so on and so forth, when you knew all the time that you wanted to sit on the funds to draw the interest. That was the strategy for our local elected officials all along. I was misled to believe that once Lewis Reed was out of the picture, the ball was going to start rolling. That was another piece of the puzzle, and we'll talk about that later on some of these illegal things that have been done with these board bills. And I do mean illegal. And we're going to also be seeking lawyers to speak in our behalf, because the way it's going now, this stuff is going to end up in court, folks. And it's sad, but I think we got to stop accepting this type of stuff and this type of behavior and this type of representation. We have to just say no more. And we have to stand up like strong black men and women that we are, and fight for what's right. And what's right is to release those funds that were sent in our interest, with the interest to poor black folks in North St. Louis City. We want not just the money that was sent, but we want the interest too. And properly distributed, so we'll know where we're at. And then the next round that's coming, we'll know who didn't get anything and who was left out. That was the process. When I filled out this application coming up on 3 years ago, and I fought for that little $5,000 that was supposed to be emergency money right then and there to help kickstart the economy. That was what the president said. And again, you can go back to March of 2001 and listen to the State of the Union address and hear it for yourself. So when they gave the $5,000 in this application, they began making it beyond reach for poor folks and disenfranchised people to receive and get these funds, because that's who it was sent for. Our community and our neighborhood has been neglected and deprived for so long that we almost have become immune to it, and that's not right. And that's the reason the emphasis was placed on rebuilding our country from the bottom up, and starting with the hood census tract. Once again, I'm going to read these streets off for the black businesses that are in these areas that want to get engaged and get involved. North Grand, from Delmar to Blair. Martin Luther King, from Jefferson to the city limits. Florissant Avenue, business owners from St. Louis Avenue to 14th Street. North Broadway, business owners from Halls Ferry Road to Christian Avenue. Natural Bridge Avenue, business owners from Fair Avenue to the city limits. West Florissant Avenue, business owners from West Florissant Avenue, from Highway 70 to Acme Avenue. Excuse me. Delmar West, business owners from Union to North Taylor Avenue. Delmar East, business owners from North Spring to North 23rd Street. Goodfellow, business owners from Delmar Boulevard to the city limits. Union Avenue, from Page to West Florissant. And Page Avenue, business owners from Vanderbilt to Compton Avenue. Those are the people that we want to get out on the front end of this, and make sure that we are documenting and putting in black and white the injustices and the ills that were conflicted upon these people, and seeking these emergency funds allocated to our people in our community over 1,058 days ago in Steele County. These funds have been held hostage, and they're still being held hostage. And unless we man up, woman up, and stand up, they're going to continue to be held hostage. Now, excuse me, I heard the mayor say that they were going to have these funds spent before the funds expire so that they wouldn't have to give them back. My question to the mayor is, how can you, in your right frame of mind, with a conscious mind and a heart, hold funds from people that had already suffered through a crisis and were trying to bounce back and come back? How can you hold funds from poor black businesses north of Delmar, which that divide you claimed that you wanted to erase? How can you, in a conscious mind, hold those funds from those small black businesses that were struggling and suffering post-COVID? I had challenges during COVID, after COVID, until this day. I'm suffering from a residual effect of COVID-19. And the federal government sent funds, and you chose to hold those funds. That is dead wrong, Madam Mayor. So with that being said, I'm going to go and hop off here before I get upset thinking about this stuff. But again, the town hall meeting is going to be on Monday. I can be reached at 314-536-1458. That's 314-536-1458. We're looking for any and all business owners that are in these 11 corridors and any and all residents that were impacted from COVID-19 that did not receive any of these funds from the city of St. Louis that are residing in North St. Louis City. So with that being said, please encourage folks. Oh, and before I go, I got to give you an update. I got a confirmation yesterday. Within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to start hosting a weekend radio talk program on Saturdays and Sundays. And we're going to be looking forward to not just this issue, but all issues. And we need, as a people and as a community, a centralized location where we can gather and collect accurate and truthful information and distribute it amongst our people so that we won't be left in the dark. Many of us are left in the dark because a lot of this stuff is being concealed from us, and we want to change that. And the only way to change that is to have a platform whereas we can actually get truthful and factual information on a weekly basis. And the name of the program has been named Town Hall Community Radio. I chose that name because that's what I want this radio program to reflect, an opportunity to hold weekly town hall meetings on the radio via your phone and what have you. The technology that we have today, you can download the app into your phone and get these weekly town hall meetings through your phone. So a lot of folks don't have radios no more, but they have cell phones. So we're going to make sure that we put together a concerned group of individuals to help do research and dig out these things so that we can know about these funds when they become available, as they become available in the days to come. One of the things I encourage folks to pay close attention to, and that is the reparations commission that was formed by our current mayor. We are in the process of, believe it or not, getting some forms of reparation. Now, how much and what they're going to do with it, I don't know. But if you're not engaged and if you're not a part of the town hall meetings, you won't know these things and you won't have a voice. So there's a town hall meeting supposed to be this coming Monday as it relates to the reparation piece. And there's scheduled for February and March for the citizens to attend these town hall meetings. So I'm encouraging folks to pay attention to that and get engaged and get involved. We have to be very proactive in seeking justice for our people in our community. And the only way we're going to do that is that we get involved and stay involved, get engaged and stay engaged. So with that being said, I'm going to hop off here now. If anyone needs to contact me or if you want to reach out and offer some other information, or if some other things that we may have overlooked, I can be reached at 314-536-1458. That's 314-536-1458. Also, in closing, folks, whatever you do, be mindful. If you don't fight for it, most of the time you won't get it. We're entitled to these funds. They should have never been withheld. They were emergency funds. So we're going to not only ask for the funds, but we're also seeking the interest of those funds as well. Have a great day. Signing off. I love you. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.